Welcome to ReThink Fabulous. I'm Natalie Shelton, and we are going to be doing a Valentine series the next few videos. So these are old videos that I posted over the last couple of years. They're kind of funny to look back on, but I hope you enjoy the DIYs. Also, if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and I hope that you enjoy this and the future Valentine DIYs. Hello everyone, welcome to ReThink Fabulous. I'm Natalie Shelton, and I'm so excited to have you here tonight. We are going to be doing a fun DIY with this pink felt die cut cutout from the Dollar Tree tonight. And actually, we'll go into that in just a minute. I wanted to share, I didn't have time last night, so I wanted to share just a couple of things that I grabbed at the Dollar Tree yesterday and show you real quick. Now, these were new. I've never seen them there, and I think they're like a tomato cage. It says a tomato trellis, and it's got a small, medium, and a little bit bigger hoop, and they're pretty flexible. And then it's got 3 little legs for the stand. Not sure what I'm going to do with this yet. I'm going to have to sit down when I have a second and just kind of think about it. But I kind of had some ideas, but I'm going to have to do an experiment here in my ReThink Fabulous crafting lab. So I did get that. And then I did get some carrots for spring and Easter. I got a couple of those. I love these little carrots. I love to make carrots as well. I made a bunch of them last year, but I like to have these for a couple of fun things. So I did go ahead and get this little, it's a pack of 2, and then these little rabbits. And I like that these are a little bit bigger. You can paint right over them. You don't have to color them in, but you absolutely can. And then these are just really cute as well. And remember, if you have one of these and you can't find any more or something, you can always trace it on foam board and make yourself a whole bunch of rabbits on a piece of foam board, okay? And then I did get this cute little card that says, "Love you latte," just in case I want to do something cute for my coffee bar for Valentine's. So, not quite sure, but if not, it's a cute card and I can give it to someone. Okay, I did get this Sting Sparkly Heart. It had a little heart hanging down in the middle of it. You know, if you've been following me for a while, I hate glitter. Hate it, hate it, hate it. But it paints really nicely. So we can paint this up and make it look like a galvanized metal rusted heart. So I love this for the purpose of painting it, but I don't like it just glittery because it gets all over the place. Okay, let's see. Marlene, newbie. Hey, welcome, Marlene Daniels. And so nice to have you. And yes, I want to welcome all of you if you're new, and welcome all of you back if you're returning. I'm so excited to see new people's faces on there, and I get excited to see the ones that are always on. It's just so fun to see you all on here. Okay, guys, I also went ahead and got this heart bowl. It's like a little bowl. It's plastic, and I know that this will be really cool painted. So I did get that, and I did go over to Joann's as well. They have this cool bag. It's plastic-ish, I don't know, but look how cute the front of it is. I thought that would be really cute for spring, and or if you like gardening or whatever. It says the grass is greener where you water it. And I think this is really cute. It would be a really cute picture. It also would be really cute to, I've seen this done. It's not my original idea, but it's a great idea. You can glue them together, stuff them, and put them on your porch for a pillow, and they don't get ruined out in the weather. So those are cool. another thing that I found that I'm going to try out, this is by Folk Art, and it was actually on clearance. It was only $2, and it says a layering block. Okay, I've never used this before, and it says, let's see, to layer paint and quickly create time-worn aged look. So I'm going to try this out. I don't know why you couldn't just use a piece of wood and glue a handle on, because see, look, there's nothing special on it. So I just think that maybe it's just to scrape the paint off. I don't know. It was $2. I'm going to try it out and see what it does. And of course, I'm going to try and make my own. That way, if it does something really cool, then I can tell you, and you can take a couple little Dollar Tree items or a piece of scrap wood and make your own little layering block. Okay, so there's that. Okay, then I headed over to Walmart, and at our Walmart, the Christmas stuff is 75% off. So I was able to find this. It was normally $4.98, and I got it for whatever 75% is off. Don't ask me to do math. I can think and I can come up with great ideas, but yeah, 2 + 2 is about as high as I'm going to go. Okay, anyway, so it says Home Sweet Farmhouse, and then it says Happy Holidays, and it's got some trees. And it's kind of a shiny, can you see that? It's kind of a shiny green. But the cool thing about this is, guys, is you can just use the farmhouse if you want to make like a farmhouse sign, or the Home Sweet Farmhouse. And you can paint right across the lettering and then peel it off. And then say you wanted it black, you can paint right across this and then peel it off, and you have black vinyl lettering for, you know, like $2. So super cute. So if you see something that you like in the Christmas, and it's something that you can use year round, like the word farmhouse or Home Sweet Farmhouse, then grab it while it's on sale. Okay, the other thing that I got, excuse me, is just this little vintage Santa, let's see, Naughty Danger Zone, super duper nice, extra nice, la 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 la. Okay, anyway, it says naughty and nice on here, and it has a little spin dial, and it was $2.48, 75% off. The reason that I like this is I can take that little dial off, and I can actually cut around this circle and use his face for a project next year. So I know we're all kind of Christmased out, but be on the lookout for little items. Okay, and oh yeah, of course I had to get some more Surebonder glue rope. Okay, this is like my rope that I have in my cordless glue gun. And yeah, like I love this rope. It's amazing. It's awesome. Highly recommend it. And then I just got some of this itty bitty pom-pom stuff. They carry this year round at Walmart. So I did get some of that. And that's all I got. So I didn't get a bunch of stuff, but the stuff that I did get was on sale, super cheap, a couple of Dollar Tree things. And so that leads me to what we're going to be doing tonight. Of course, again, it is a Dollar Tree item. It's this pink heart. Now, I'm going to use this heart, but I'm not going to use this heart, if that makes any sense. I'm going to use it as a template, sorry. But don't fear, I'm going to think of something to actually do with this pink heart itself. But I'm going to use it as a template. And yes, okay, guys, I'm using Foamboard again tonight. I'm sorry if you're Foamboard out. There's just so many amazing things you can do with Foamboard. But I'm going to do this Foamboard DIY tonight, and then I'll take a break on the Foamboard. Okay, I'll take a break. I will take a break and try not to do another craft with Foamboard for just a little while. Now, to me, I don't care if it's made out of Foamboard or toilet paper or sheetrock or paper towels. If it turns out cool, I'll use it all day long because that's just the look that I like. So, but you guys may be getting sick of the foam board DIYs. So anyway, all right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, by the way, I don't know if my daughter's watching because I think she is out to dinner, but my oldest daughter's birthday is today. Her name is Kaisa and she's 22 years old today. So happy birthday to my amazing daughter. And when I'm done here, I think we're gonna go celebrate. So, all right, let's get going. Okay, so here we go. Oh, did I see Rhonda on there? Yes, my friend Rhonda. Yes, I did. Rhonda, I have not talked to you for a few days, so hello. And all right, guys. So one thing that I like to do when I'm working with Foamboard is, so I'm going to trace this heart, and I'm going to just use a pen or a pencil or something to trace. And I'm just going to push down, kind of cutting into that foam board with the tip of my pen or pencil or whatever, or you can just use your X-Acto knife, but I like to go around it first with my pen and just push that little ball of my pen into the foam board. The reason I like to do that is because then it makes it a little bit easier with my X-Acto knife to cut through it. So now I've already done this. You're going to need 2 pieces of this heart. So with the first one that I've already done, I already cut out, you're going to trace around it, and then you're going to trace all of these awesome little die cuts. Okay. You're going to trim all, or you're going to trace all of that. Now, I thought I would do my own pattern at first, but then I was like, this is a really cute pattern. And so why stress myself out and have to draw my own pattern, make sure it's all perfect or whatever. So I just went ahead and traced this. Okay. Then, and I'm actually going to just trace a couple pieces so I can show you what I'm doing. Okay. So I already did that on my other piece, but I trace these a couple of pieces on there. After you get all the little cutouts traced on it, you're going to take your X-Acto knife or scissors, whatever you want to use. I prefer to use an X-Acto knife. And then you're going to cut out your heart. Oops. Okay. Now my blade is not really super sharp, which it should be, but so if you want your edges like all perfect and everything, you know, you can have a brand new sharp blade. It really doesn't matter to me because I like to use a sanding block on my edges. So, okay. I'm sorry you got to watch me cut this out, but I'm going to have to cut it out to show you the whole project here. But if your edges kind of bend up or jagged, don't worry about that. So easy to fix it with sandpaper. It's just like sanding wood, okay? And 2, if you're painting it or anything like that, the paint also kind of pushes it down and moistens the paper and the foam. And yeah, it doesn't end up being a problem. Sorry, I'm trying to hurry and do this without cutting myself. Okay. Now, this is not a hard project, okay? So don't get overwhelmed by it or think it's too hard to try, because it isn't hard. It's just, I would say, more time consuming, but it's not hard. Now, is what we're gonna do. If you've been following me for a bit, guys, you will know that we carved into some foam board when we did our fake wooden corbels. And I do have a tutorial on that, so you can search for that and find it. But is what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your X-Acto knife and those little designs that we traced onto your foam board, you're going to cut into that, but you're not going to go all the way through. So you're not going to cut all the way into your foam to where your knife comes out the back. You're just going to cut that top layer of paper. So foam board is construction, like a poster board, a piece of foam, and a piece of poster board. So you have paper, foam, paper, okay? So you're going to cut into that top layer of paper. The top layer of paper, that rhymes. Okay, so I went in and I just cut into the top layer of that. Then you're going to take your point of your knife and you're just going to peel that paper up where you cut it. Okay, now see how you can see the foam there? Okay, now you're going to take your little X-Acto knife and you're just going to take the tip of it and you're going to pick into the foam. Now you're not going to go all the way through, but you're going to pick into that foam. Okay. Now it does kind of make a mess, but okay. So I don't know if you can see, you probably can't see it, but there's an indentation right there where you picked into the foam. Now I like to take maybe like the back of a paintbrush, and then I hope you can see me. Okay, so I like to go around the edge of that part that I cut out and just kind of push the edge down and the foam down, just kind of go over it like a pencil. And you just go around it to really make that foam push down a little bit and just kind of push it down. So now it's really indented. You can't see it, but it's like a little bowl. It just is all indented in there, okay? So you're gonna do that to the whole pattern, this pattern that you traced. Okay, you're gonna cut through the first layer of paper and then you're gonna pick it out with your, and it's not hard. So people that carve wood, you know, that's a lot of work because you're carving wood and you have to have all these special tools and everything. Well, this is just like carving wood, but it's easy because it is foam board and you're just carving into the foam, okay? And then you're just kind of pushing that down with the back of your pencil or your paintbrush. Okay, so here's the one that I already started, okay? So you can see how I cut that design out, okay? And then the next step is we're gonna take some of our white Waverly chalk paint, or this is Apple Barrel white flat paint. And you are going to take a paintbrush. Let's see if I can find one. Oh, we'll use this one. You're gonna take a paintbrush and you're gonna take that paint. Oh, I forgot to pick out this foam right here. Let me pick that out because I was gonna show you all. Okay, so, okay. And if you go through a little bit, don't worry about it. If you go through the foam and you go back through the paper on the other side, just a little bit in a little spot, don't stress about it because you're going to be putting paint over the top of this foam and it'll just fill it in. So, okay. Now see how I'm not, it doesn't take a lot of time because this X-Acto knife is nice and sharp. And you've got a nice little tip on there, and you just basically you're kind of going in and loosening that foam up. Shoot. Okay. I started this and I didn't finish it. That way I could show you guys, and I forgot that I didn't finish it. So let me just finish getting some of that foam out real quick. But again, you can see it doesn't take long at all. The thing that takes the longest is just cutting the paper. And you don't have to use this pattern if you don't want. You can just draw a heart. If you can't find this pink heart from the Dollar Tree, you can just draw a heart and make your own pattern. But I have a lot of people that say that they're not artistic or they can't draw, they need a pattern, that kind of stuff. You know, I totally understand that. I love to just draw patterns and that kind of stuff. And hopefully in the future, I will be able to make some patterns up for you guys for different DIYs, and you'll be able to download them. But for right now, I don't. Okay, so so for those of you that get intimidated by drawing, if you, that's why I chose to show you how to use this heart as a stencil. You've already got your pattern done for you. Okay, so now once you get the foam all out and you push all that down, then you are going to take your white paint and you are going to go inside those cutouts. And as you can see, you kind of want to get up on the edges, on the, like right inside the foam. So you just want to paint that foam, the white paint. And the reason I use chalk paint or flat white is because the way that it dries, the texture that it dries, I like that. It's just a different texture than just regular acrylic paint that's not flat. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm just going to get all that foam painted white and just getting it on the edges and get it nice and covered. Now, as you can see, my paint is, I'm trying to stay in the foam, but because this brush is a little bit bigger, it's getting on the black. That's okay. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Okay. So now when you paint this foam and you dry it, it dries and it looks like it is carved wood. You can't tell that it's foam anymore. So you can do this any color combination that you want. You guys know I like neutral colors. You can do like a dark wood if you want. Maybe use a stain and do it lightly stained inside the foam and then do a dark wood paint on it. I'm going to do the white with a light wood look over the top of it. Just because that's kind of the colors I have in my home and it seems to match. See, I'm just taking my little brush and I'm just getting in all the little cutout areas and up on the sides of that foam. And, you know, I'm not brushing it all careful and perfect. You actually want to just get in there and just really push down on that foam and work that paint into the foam, because it helps to, number one, push it down. Number two, get in all the little crevices. Okay. All right. So see how I took that paint and got it all in there. Okay, let's hit this with our hair dryer on a warm heat so we can dry that paint nicely. Hello, Debbie. Hearn, nice to see you. My messages or my comments are not going up. I have to manually make them go up for some reason tonight. Sheila says she's never used Foamboard. Well, I do a lot of Foamboard DIYs. So, yeah, you can learn how to do it here with us. So, Elaine, I love Foamboard too. So I get my Foamboard at the Dollar Tree. You can get it really anywhere. Grocery stores, like in their office supply area, Walmart, all those kind of stores. But they're like $4 a sheet, and at the Dollar Tree they are $1. So I would check at a Dollar Tree or like a Dollar General or something like that first before you get it anywhere else. I always have Foamboard on hand in my crafting lab because I love it so much. And if I am doing something and I don't have a piece of wood, I can use Foamboard. Okay, so we've got that painted, and now we are going to start painting. I'm gonna dump a little paint here. And guys, I get these little styrofoam trays at the Dollar Tree as well. And they're great for paint. They come in like a big stack for $1. And I'm thinking I could probably do something cool with them since they're foam. So I don't know, I'm gonna have to try something with those one of these days. Okay, so I'm gonna just brush all in one direction because we want it to give a wood look. Now you can use white foam board if you want, but I typically use black foam board for the reason, this reason is because I like the black to come through. That way I don't have to paint black and then let it dry and then paint white. It saves paint, it saves time, it saves everything. And you still get that look. So if I wanted to do this heart, just like a shabby chic, black and white so that it looks like this, then I could do that. So I'm just dry brushing. Now dry brushing means you're just taking a dry brush, you're not adding any kind of water to it, and you're just lightly putting your paint on. Okay, so see how that looks sanded without even having to sand it? So you can leave it like that if you like, but because I'm going for kind of a wood look, I'm actually going to, sorry, I'm gonna wipe this paint off real quick so I don't get it all over me. Okay. I'm gonna hit that with my dryer again. While it's drying, I'm trying to, oh, Brenda, thank you. I hope my daughter hops on and she sees your birthday wish. Thank you so much. And Rhonda, thank you. Julia, Janine, all of you wishing her a happy birthday. And yes, Rhonda, I see you're here. I'm so glad. Okay. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. Yeah, I love using foam board. Okay, so that's dry. All right. So you can see the different techniques as far as painting. So you can do just the black foam board. It looks like it's been sanded. It looks cute. That's what we did with these little magnet hearts that I made the other night. That's just paint right over the top of the black foam board. Okay. All right. But since we're going to do it the wood look, I'm going to go ahead and get my Waverly Antiquing Wax. This bottle has been through heck and back. It's the Waverly brand from Walmart, and you can get it online as well. And I'm going to just use my same white brush here. Not even going to rinse it out. I'm going to just kind of wipe it off a little bit here. And another thing that I use that I absolutely love are these towels from Walmart. They're over in the like automotive section, and they're super absorbent, and you can use them for a long time. You can even rinse them out and wash them just like you would like a cloth rag. So I like them. Okay, so now I'm just gonna dip my brush here in some of the wax, and I'm just going to start brushing that across. Now remember last night when we were doing the doily that was Mod Podged on the wood, and that's when you started seeing the design of the doily, is when we added that darker the wax over the top. That's kind of what happens here. Do you see how all of a sudden you're able to see the pattern a little bit better? That's because it's painting the top part, but that white that you painted white, that's why we painted inside the foam white, stays nice and white. Okay, so again, we're just going the same direction. Now, if you get some wax inside this little carved out places, don't panic. So all you have to do is go back in with your paintbrush and just add a little bit more white paint to whiten it up, okay? So let's just kind of do this. Now, the trick I have found, and this is what I teach, is to blend, blend, blend. Okay, now that's what will give you more of an authentic look. So as you can see, I don't have a lot of, I'm not adding a lot of paint. I'm just dabbing tiny, tiny bits onto my brush. And I'm just really blending it in. Because you can always go back in, which we will in a bit, and go featherly easy, like real featherly easy. I don't even know if that's a word, but you just take your brush and go across it after you get it all stained, and add that extra white if you need to, okay? So, I mean, like, I'm dabbing it in there, but there's hardly any on my brush. And again, I'm not like painting like this. I'm not, you know, being real careful. You just want to go all in one direction, and the faster, actually, the better. Okay. And I had kind of shown this last night, but if you didn't watch last night, I kind of like to pay attention to those edges to kind of give them a little bit of a darker look on the edges. So I'm just kind of taking my paintbrush like this from the edge and swooping on. That way the stain catches the edges and gives you a little bit darker edge. Now, see how you can see some black underneath there, and then you've got your brown and you've got your white, and you're just blending that. That is why I like to use the black foam board. So if you are planning on taking the angel wing class, which by the way, I'm super excited about, and I'll go over that a little bit in a minute. I use the black foam board. You can use white, but I just like the little bit of dimension that the black gives. Even though your wings are white, having that black undertone in some areas gives the wings more dimension, okay? So, but if you can't find the black, it's not something that you have to have black. Okay. So you get the idea. Okay, so starting to look like wood. And now if you feel like you've got too much brown on there, you can go back in with the same brush, add just a little bit of white. on there and go over it a little bit and kind of lighten it up. Again, you can also go in with your little paintbrush and get those little cutouts that got some of the stain on them. And you might like that look. You might like the stain inside those little cutouts, and that's fine too. The reason I like my cutouts nice and white is so that you can really see the detail with the cutouts. Okay, let's move to the next step. Let me get my poster board. Okay, so this is poster board, okay? This is foam board. Can you see the difference? So poster board is bendable and it's just one sheet of, and then this one is one sheet foam, one sheet. So for this, you're gonna want a piece of poster board. Also, I found this at Dollar Tree. Now, I wanted this to be a thick wood piece, like it actually was a carved piece of wood. And so there's a couple ways you can do this. Number one, you can layer multiple pieces of foam board. So you can add like however many pieces of foam board you want to make it thicker, okay? So we've got 1, 2, and I say I wanted about this thick. Then you would add like 4 or 5 pieces of foam board. But I say, hey, why do that? Why waste foam board when we're gonna need it for something else? And it takes way too much time. So this is what I came up with. I'm going to use some of these Jenga blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to glue them on. Now, guys, this is just something that I pretty much had in one of my visions at 3 o'clock in the morning. So I've not tried this out. Sometimes I try to try things out beforehand. And I have not tried this out. I'm pretty sure it's gonna work. I'm gonna make it work, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna work, but we are gonna see how it works. Okay, so, no, I know that it'll work. Okay. So I'm just kind of going around my edge here and getting these glued on. And they glue on really nicely with the glue gun because it's paper and wood. So it glues on real nice. So I've got 7 around the edge there. Let's do one in the middle. So that would be 8. And I'm just gonna do 2 right here in the center. You can do as many as you want. I just want to make sure that it's how I want. Okay. So now when I stick my other piece on, see how that fills up the space and I don't have to add 5. That would have taken me, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 pieces of foam board if I was to not put the blocks in between there and just add sheets of foam board. Okay. So so you could do it this thick, it would be cool, but I want to make it like a thick piece of wood. So I'm actually going to put 1 more Jenga block on each of these to give it even more thickness. So if you want a nice chunky piece, you can do this. Now, I did not think of this using these Jenga blocks when we did the corbels. So if you're gonna make the corbels, this is a great way to make them as thick as you want without having to use a whole bunch of foam board. Basically, you just need 2 pieces of foam board, your front and your back, and then you can make your corbels as thick as you want, or this heart as thick as you want. You can add your Jenga blocks 3, 4 high, 2 high, 1 high, whatever you want. And really make it look like a big, chunky, heavy piece of wood. All right. So for this project, 2 of the blocks is going to be just fine for me. Okay. So now I'm going to take my second piece, and before I do that, I'm actually going to take my sanding block and I'm going to smooth down those edges. So you see how jagged they are. You see that. I'm going to show you. And it doesn't take a long time. So see how nice and, so we have really jagged here, and then see how it's coming out nice and smooth right there. That's just from sanding the foam board. So basically anything that you do with wood, you can do with foam board. One of my followers, I'm so sorry, I cannot remember who said it, but they said, I'm surprised said something about building a house or something with foam board. And I came back and said, my family is gets kind of scared in my house. They don't know what's real and what's foam board. You know, they think that I have a real fireplace in the house and you can pick it up with one finger. It might be just foam board. So my couches and beds and all of that are real. However, you can make a really cool headboard with foam board. So, if you come to my house, you don't have to worry. You won't fall. If you sit on my couch, it's not foam board. It's actually real. But I am going to be making, one of the things I want to make is not a mantle, an actual surround fake fireplace with foam board, which I will do eventually. Okay, I'm just going to take this and get all the dust out. Whew, okay. Now I'm just going to glue that right on top. So because I'm using a hot glue gun and not a low temperature, my glue will stay nice and hot and it won't get hard and dry while I'm adding all this glue on. So that's why I like to use hot glue, so that I have time to work with it. Okay, so I'm just going to get it even. And I'm going to push that right on there, and that is a nice, solid piece. Okay, so you say, well, okay, well, this looks ridiculous. Absolutely. So that's why we're going to take our poster board, and I'm going to see about how thick this is. Okay. So I'm just going to lay this down here. I'm going to see about how thick it is. And then I will mark that with a little cut of my scissors. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut a strip of the poster board. Now you can use a cutting mat, a cutting machine, whatever you want to do. I don't measure, I don't do any of that. That's just me. And I am going to measure this part. I'm going to see how thick this one is and put a little snip in my paper and cut me one more strip. So it's better to have it a little wider than too narrow, too thin, okay? Because you can always go in and sand the edges down if you have too much. All right, so we'll put that paper aside. Okay. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to take my strip of paper and I'm going to put it flush with the front of my heart, okay? Now there's going to be some hangover on the back and that's okay, but I want my nice flush, or my nice, my front side to be nice and even. So I'm actually going to start at the tip and I'm going to go over to the other side of it first, okay? I'm not going to just glue it right here at the tip because I want it to be nice and rounded. So I'm going to take my glue gun and I'm just going to go right along the edge of that foam and make sure it's nice and flush with the front. Okay. Now, if you have both a hot glue gun and a low temperature glue gun, and you want to use both of them, this might be a time where you could use the low temperature, just because the hot glue stays hot for so long and so the paper doesn't want to stick as quickly, and also so you don't burn your fingers. Okay, can you see how this is nice and flush with the top of it? Okay, now this side, you can see how it hangs over, and that's totally fine. Okay. So actually, is what I didn't say is we need to do the front and the back. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I got that front on nice and flush. Okay, that is hot. So I've noticed that with the poster board, it has kind of almost a waxy feel on it. I don't know. It's not just regular paper. So that's why you have to make sure it's stuck down really nicely. Okay. So here we go. Let's get busy gluing this little fella. And I will try to do it as quickly as I can. Sorry you have to watch me glue all this, but that's just a step I can't skip. Otherwise, you might not know how to do it. So, okay. So again, I'm making sure my front side is flush first. And then I'll push down on that back side. And guys, if you can find one of these at the Dollar Tree over by the makeup section, it's to put like mask stuff on your face. I love this better than the little finger things. I love this so much. That way I don't have to keep putting the finger things on and off. Love it. Okay, if you get some hot glue along the edges, don't worry. The paint will cover that. Okay. So let's continue here. And because you're putting the hot glue on the foam, and then you push it on, it just kind of almost melts the foam a little bit. I mean, it doesn't distort the shape or anything, but I like it because it just kind of melts that paper into the foam and makes it stick really nicely. See, I can push that into the foam really well with this little thing without burning my fingers. Okay, see how it's coming along? We're finishing those edges up. Again, I apologize that you have to watch me doing all this gluing. I'll just finish this one side of the heart. That way you don't have to watch me all night long gluing. So I'll just go down to the middle hump and finish up the one side so you can see what it looks like. And then I'll finish the rest of it. I'll finish up the rest of it when I'm off of here. Heidi says, don't take a break from the foam board. I just started following you and I'm amazed with what you do. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try. I'm not gonna take a long break. I don't think it's in me to take too long of a break because I have so many, I don't know, I just have some really cool ideas with the dang foam board and I can't. The other thing that I like this thing for is if you have a tight spot like that, you can push on it and get down into those little grooves. I love that about that little mask applicator thing. Okay, so I'm gonna just go into there and there we go. Okay, I'm just gonna slide that down. I'm just gonna pounce it on there. And if your paper kind of goes up a little bit on the front side of your heart, don't stress about it. You can always go in and cut it. Now, I love TJ Maxx and Ross, and I love to shop there, and I have seen a lot of items that are very similar to this in those stores. You know, like trays and stuff like that. Okay, see how this is coming along? So here's what it looked like before, and here's what it's looking like now. Okay, now I'll do the other side later. So now let me see how the sanding block, I think so. I think we need to go in and just cut this. Okay, so I'm just cutting the excess off with my scissors and it's working just fine. It's glued on there nicely, so you just lay your scissors against the back of your heart and start cutting. And you can take some little scissors if you need to and trim it down. And you can sand it and get it even when you get all that extra cut off. Okay, so I'm just going in, just cutting these excess off the back because my front, that's why I made sure the front was nice and flush so I wouldn't have to do this to both sides. But if you went over a little bit in the front, you can absolutely do this to the front as well. Okay. All right, so now it's more even on the back. Then I can take my sanding sponge and just kind of sand the front. And see how right there the paper didn't stick a little bit? Okay, you can go back in there with some glue if you want, or paint over it, because we're going to be painting the edges here in a minute. So, Okay, guys, oh my gosh, I don't know why my messages are not going up. Hey, guys, oh my goodness, we have 313 people watching tonight. I know with a lot of crafters, they have thousands watching every night. I'm thankful for I don't care if there's one person following or watching or thousands. I'm so excited to see you guys on here. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. So we got that all trimmed down. Look at that. Okay. Here we go. We're going to finish this little fella up. Okay. So same brush, same paint. Here we go. We're just going to do this. Now, I like the wrinkles in the paper. I don't feel like it needs to be perfectly flat because it gives it an authentic wood look. I mean, what wood is perfectly flat? You know what I mean? I mean, if you sand it, I guess, but if it's a carved piece of wood, it has blemishes in it. That's what makes it beautiful. So here we go. And okay, so we did that. Now I'm going to also be painting the back. And the reason is say I want to set this kind of like this on a fireplace mantle or something. And somebody, you know, you can see the back of it or somebody picks it up. I want it to be finished so that it really looks like a piece of wood. So I'm just gonna take my paint, and I'm also gonna take my paint a little heavy around where the edges meet there and kind of fill in those gaps with some paint. Okay. If your paper peels up, just peel it off. No big deal. You can paint right over the foam. So you can add as much paint as you like or as little, depending on how much black you want to come through. And you can always go back in and add more paint as you're doing this painting technique. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do the chalk paint or the antiquing wax. I'm going to dry this real quick. Now, if you don't dry it, the white paint, and you start adding your wax, that's fine. It'll just make like a light bleached wood look. And you can blend those two together, and it's beautiful. I actually did that technique on my one of my dining room tables and chairs. So I didn't let the white dry. I just went right in with my wax and started really blending those two together, and it just gave it a really beautiful bleached wood look. This one I want a little bit more textured and not so blended because I want you to be able to see the fake wood grain. So that is why I'm drying this. Okay, it's pretty dry. So now I'm just going to start dabbing that same brush one direction. Now see how I have a bunch of stain right there and then it kind of just blends in? I'm just going to keep doing this. That's what makes it look authentic is when you have a dark piece of wood and then a lighter piece. So that just looks like sanded wood now. But see, I didn't put it on evenly. I didn't put the stain on to where it was all one dark piece, okay? I just am kind of brushing this on, and then I'll come in and I'll kind of go heavier in the middle here and just then blend it, blend it, blend it. So you do want to go heavier in some areas. and then lighter in some areas. And then again, you can go back in and really go over it with white if you need to lighten it up. Now, one thing that I also like about the wax is that when it moistens the paper, the foam board, the foam board, and the poster board, it kind of like softens it up. So when you're really blending good, it kind of melts that paper into each other and it softens those edges, and you can still go back in and sand it, but it's just really cool. Okay, so let's do the sides so we can see. Now, one thing about this craft and a few of the other, well, most of my crafts, is you're not going to see these anywhere else. You might see them somewhere else later after I've done them, which is totally fine. I take that as a compliment if people recreate it in their own way. So that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you're the first. The people on ReThink Fabulous that are watching, you guys get to see this very first before any of the other crafters get to see it, because it came fresh from my brain. So, okay. So again, I'm just really blending. That is the trick here, is blend, blend, blend. Okay, so see how we're just blending all of that. This has a lot of black on there. So then I can go back in with my white and kind of lighten it up. And I'm doing that in like little spurts. Now see, it's blending differently because I didn't dry the wax before I added the white. So I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it with my cold shot. Remember, cold shot on your hair dryer dries wax faster than the heat because it is wax and it melts the wax. I also am a person that you'll notice too, I like to touch my projects when I'm making them. I don't know why. I have to touch and feel and all that kind of stuff. But this is where I go in when I'm drying it, and I'm kind of like pushing down those edges, just kind of pushing it down with my finger because it rounds those edges and just connects them better. The wax is still kind of sticky, and it just, I don't even know, you'll have to try it and see what I'm talking about, but it just kind of helps to melt the pieces together. Kind of, it's like your finger's like a welding machine. That's the way I would explain it, is it's kind of welding the paper together. Okay, I need to glue this real quick. Okay. All right, see guys, look how cool this is looking. It's looking like a wood heart, and when you have it all done, now I'm still gonna work on this. I don't like it this streaky, so I'm just gonna play with it here after I get off with you guys, and see, I'm going over it with some white to kind of tone that down so that you get the wood tone that you're looking for. Now, another thing that you can do when you get it all done and painted the way that you like, you can actually go in with your sanding block and go right over the top of the paint and the wax and just kind of sand it just like you would wood. And it just kind of helps to blend the colors a little bit, depending on what texture you want. Now, if you didn't want to do the wood look, you could absolutely do the same kind of technique, but add thicker paint. You can add some baking soda. There's all sorts of things you can add to your paint to make it thicker. But I'm just going to say baking soda because I do that sometimes. Or leave your paint out for a little bit to kind of start getting clumpy and dry. And that way you can make it look like a chippy heart, a chippy paint heart, you know, like the paint starting to chip off. Now with the wooden corbels, the fake wooden corbels, we actually, once we got this all dry, we took some Elmer's glue and dabbed it on, like took our brush and just chunked it on there and let it start to form kind of a skin almost, and then you paint over it, hit it with your hair dryer, and it crackles. So instead of going out and spending a lot of money on crackle medium, you can actually use Elmer's glue to crackle your project. Now, I like to do that with, you know, a darker base, and then do that the glue and then the white paint over it, and then crackle it, and then you can see the darker underneath. So, okay, so here we go, guys. Here's how it's looking. I am going to do just a little bit more of the white here. So even though we're covering up that black, you can still see that darker color underneath. See how with the black paper you can see that underneath? Okay. All right. This is it. Now, I don't know about you, but I think that this looks like a nice wooden chunky piece of wood heart, carved wood. I love it. I think it is so cute. And let's see. I'm going to dry this real quick. Okay, and this actually is just like when you sand wood, it just softens it. It gives it such a sanded wood feel. Honestly, with the Jenga pieces or the tumbling tower pieces in there, it's such a nice, sturdy, like solid piece that, and then when you sand it, it really feels like sanded wood. So if somebody saw this, I think they would think it was wood, and then they pick it up and it's just like, I mean, you can hold it with your finger, you know, like just balance it. If you can spin a basketball, you can spin this on your finger. It's that light, it's so light. And I'm going to sand my edges just to round them out, and yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So here is this fabulous fake wood heart. I hope that you enjoyed this. And again, I know that I used this, but I didn't use it. I used it as a template. I am going to try to think of something unusual or different, unique, not unusual, unique to do with this. I'm going to try. I've got so many cute ideas that I want to do with so many things. Like Christmas, I had so many more things that I wanted to show y'all, and I ran out of time. So hopefully I'll have time to do something with this, but hope that you'll give this a try. I hope that you like it. I loved it. Okay, Christy, you can go back and watch replay if you missed the beginning of it, okay? All right, real quickly, the Fabulous Angel Wings class is Saturday at 6:00 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So if you click on the link, you should be able to go in, and it says purchase, and you will put your credit card information in there. It's $14.99 for the class. Now, I've had quite a few of you message me and say that you really want to take the class, but you are not going to be able to that night. So I'm going to do it this Saturday. And then if there's enough interest in doing it another night, we will do it another night, and you will be able to still purchase that and learn how to do that. So I've had some questions asked, why am I charging to show you a DIY? Well, let me explain. So I love sharing my ideas with you guys. Absolutely love it. It brings me joy. And I share, I think, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I try to share fabulous DIYs with you. And not just your ordinary run-of-the-mill, not run-of-the-mill. I don't want to say that because I think all crafters and crafting pages are amazing and I love them. But I try to come up with unique ideas. So before COVID, I was able to host classes locally, and they were $35 and it included all their supplies. So I went ahead and decided I'm going to offer classes still on some of the DIYs. So I'm still going to share amazing, fabulous DIYs with everybody, but this is a way for me to do the business side. A lot of the crafters have boutiques and stores, and they make their living doing that, which is amazing and awesome. But I don't do that. And so this is also a way for me to help support my family. And so that is why I'm doing that. That's the business side of it. And so it's $14.95, which $14.99, sorry. That's the way Facebook sets it up. It's like $20.99 and $25.99, I don't know. But anyway, so it's $14.99, and that pays for your class, which is way cheaper than it was when I did it in person here. But you do have to have your own supplies, and I listed that in the on the Facebook page because for some reason in the event it showed all the details, but then it keeps disappearing. I don't know why. So the details are on the page. If you scroll down, it'll say everything that you need. Now you do not, I did post pictures of different ways you can do the wings. You do not have to do a heart in the middle of your wings. You can do a big bow, you can do a floral arrangement, you can do anything that you want. The class, I will be teaching you how to make the wings themselves. And then I will give ideas and answer questions on ways to decorate the heart or the bow or whatever in the center. So we will make the wings together. They will dry overnight, and then either we will do, if you want to do a heart, we can do a heart together that night as well. I can help you come up with ideas and answer any questions for that. But basically the class is going to be on how to make those fabulous wings. They are just absolutely beautiful. And if you go and look for wings on Pinterest, you are going to pay, in some instances, $300 for just a painting of some wings. So this is something that is really an art piece, kind of like this is an art piece. It's fun. And so I just wanted to explain that in detail just a little bit more. The class is at 6 o'clock p.m. on Saturday. The reason I did it an hour early is because I know in our in-person classes, we crafted for at least a couple hours. So I am going to stay on as long as y'all need. There's not a certain time limit. That's why I'm doing the class as well, is because I'm not able to show you how to do the craft and read all your comments and answer questions. So that night when we do the class, I will be answering your questions. I will be helping you create. I will be showing you in detail how to do it. And also another question that was asked was, people want to purchase it, but they won't be able to watch it at that time. So they want to go back and watch it. From what I understand, the video, if you purchased a ticket, you can go back and watch it for like, I don't know, up to 3 months or something. But I don't know that 100%. That is what I've been told. And that's what I think. But because this is my first online class, I'm not 100% sure. So I don't want to tell you the wrong answer. So if you can't make it, and I'm not 100% sure if you can watch it, I'm pretty sure, but not 100% sure, we can, again, do this class another night. I'll be happy to do that. Now, the DIYs that I do on the classes will only be for the classes. I won't be doing them on the regular lives on this page, okay? So there is just an exclusive purchase DIY. So, okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm sorry this ran a little long, but felt like I really needed to let you know all the information so that you can make a decision if you want to join that class, or if it's the time's gonna work for you, the date, all of that stuff. So I hope that you guys will give this fabulous heart a try. It is not hard. It looks like a beautiful piece of art, but it is not hard to do. Okay, so I hope that you'll try it out. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you. Make sure if you are, I'm not supposed to say the word, but FOLLOWING, the page, make sure that you are also liking it as well, okay? And then also you can find me on Instagram under ReThink Fabulous as well. All right, great. Have a great night. I will see you guys all tomorrow with another fabulous DIY. Thank you.